Some say the internet's bad because it makes people who shouldn't be famous famous. But that's not true. People who shouldn't be famous have always been famous. And a prime example of that is Uri Geller. Uri Geller was born in Israel in, I believe, 1946. And why was he popular? Because he was a psychic. And now if you think of a psychic, someone who has psychic powers, what would you use them for? You. Would you use them to maybe solve world hunger? Catch criminals maybe? Things like that. But the real truth is, if you had psychic powers, you would use them to bend spoons, which is what Uri Geller did. And unlike a lot of people who claim to have psychic powers, we're still talking about Uri Geller today because he managed to fool many, many people. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he did. Even scientists believed in some of his claims, though he has been debunked by various people. But anyway, you may wonder why we're discussing Uri Geller right now. Is it to review this Uri Geller Mind Power Kit? Is it to talk about spoons? No. No, this is a music review channel. And today we're going to review Uri Geller's self-titled masterpiece, Uri Geller. This 11-track album is an unholy blend of new age, easy listening, and recitation. The previous owner wrote weak on this, and, well, let's just listen to find out if that's accurate.
Now, if you don't own one of these valuable albums, you can probably find them online. I don't think they're very expensive, but once you do get them, make sure to get out your handy dandy Peanuts record player.
Hear the voice, the soft enchanted voice, it turns the forest green.
In my opinion, a lot of the tracks on this album kind of blend together. The first one stands out a little bit, Come On in Love. It's not awful, really. The instrument, obviously the recitation is all goofy, but compared to what comes later, it's not that awful. And the actual musical aspects of the songwriting aren't particularly bad. And just a little background about this album, Uri Geller wrote all the lyrics. Half the songs had music written by Del Newman, and he arranged all of them, and he also arranged music for Paul Simon, Paul McCartney, Elton John, along with probably many others, and Byron Janis, who is a pianist and friend of Uri Geller. And I believe he was a very skilled pianist. I don't really know enough to say, but as far as I know, he was. And the other person featured prominently on this is Maxine Nightingale, who sings 2 of the songs. But besides that, the vocals are either done by a choir or Uri Geller himself. After Come On in Love, we have Velvet Space, which is really bad.
Deep, deep,
God.
long, wide space. I'm floating there like waters.
It's a recitation. It's very slow. He's not even all, even though it's a recitation, I think he tries to hit the notes and he doesn't hit the right notes. And to be honest, a lot of these blend together. Velvet Space, Beyond Imagination, The Lonely Man, My Son, Mood, they all just blend, because it's Uri Geller recitation over orchestral in most cases, and it's just very bad. I don't know how else to put it. It's not pleasant to the ear, and some of these have very loose instrumentation, if that makes sense. I didn't really listen to it enough to hear if they were repeating, or, I mean, I'm sure they were, but to hear how much they were repeating to study the form, but it felt very loose, very kind of free, and it really does not complement his lyrics or his recitation, which makes this a very entertainingly bad album. But there are a few standout songs, This Girl of Mine and A Story to Tell are both sung by Maxine Nightingale. Girl of Mine is on side 1 and A Story to Tell is on side 2.
A story to tell of a life that has failed, a dream to be made of the oldest tale that has never
They
been
are much more sort of easy listening, so they're not really unpleasant, but they're definitely not good. She does manage to make Uri Geller's lyrics sound not as weird and dumb, because you just don't really pay attention to them that much. But I remember, if you look at the lyrics and imagine him saying it, you can imagine how bad it would be. But she manages to deliver them in a not as bad manner. It's not really saying much, to be honest. A Queen Without a King kind of stands out. It's got choir vocals, but besides that, it's a love song. It's just more of the easy listening kind of parts of the album. The real ones that stand out to me that are, I think, particularly funny are The Day and I Cannot Answer You. The Day sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, and it should be used in the soundtrack to one.
The day the deserts burn to ashes, the day the atoms crackled thunders, the day the winds grew yellow.
It's much more intense than the other songs, and I think whereas the other ones have the slow recitation, and though they're kind of funny, it's harder to listen to for fun. Whereas this has a faster pace, so you can listen to it, you can laugh, and it's not as boring, I guess. It would be very good if it was meant as a joke, but as far as I can tell, it is not. And then I Cannot Answer You.
I cannot answer you really to nothing, maybe only to a tiny drop of tear that has fallen off the eye of a molecule. Yes, it is that little, for the whole truth and nothing but the truth is so big that the second drop of tear will make you crazy.
I've heard it the most of the songs of the album, but to me it is the most memorable. Because it's just funny. It's like got dumb backing vocals, being overly dramatic, and I don't know. It's funny. It's Uri Geller, full on recitation mode, with his strong accent, and mixed a little bit too high. I think it stands out. One of the ones that stands out the most. But besides that, this album really blends together. And I did put a spoon next to it for most of the listening, and the spoon didn't bend. And I've been trying to bend it, but I just can't. But maybe if I use my Uri Geller Mind Power Kit. I recommend you pick up the album and this Uri Geller Mind Power Kit. It'll really, if you want to bend spoons, this really helps. This includes a crystal, and Uri Geller will personally empower your kit on the first of every month. But anyway, I'm just gonna try to.
I cannot answer you really to nothing, maybe only to a tiny drop of tear that has fallen off the eye of a molecule. Yes, it is that little, for the whole...
But anyway, in conclusion, spoon bending, I don't think it's real. And the Uri Geller album is bad, but it's so bad it's good, at least in my opinion. And yeah, go buy the Uri Geller album. It'll be very entertaining. Lots of fun.